The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello and welcome to 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. The regular season on its last legs. We can almost taste the playoffs from here. Kenny, how do they taste?
Wait, hold on. Ooh, it tastes like chicken.
Barbecue chicken?
Oh, yeah.
Tonight, it'll be the Memphis Grizzlies up against the Spurs in San Antonio. Well, for San Antonio, 5-5 over their last 10 games, but they're not satisfied with 500 ball, looking to tack one onto the win tally tonight. You know, we've heard so long that Greg Popovich is one of the best coaches in the NBA, if not the best. What sets him apart, Kenny?
Well, he's patient. You know, that's the difference. Well, he keeps these games and seasons in perspective. He looks at the big picture, not the small picture, and he's adaptable. Adaptability is one of the hardest things for a coach to do, because sometimes they get set in their ways and say, this is the way we're going to play. But then all of a sudden you make 3 or 4 trades and you say, well, should we still play that way? He says, yes, we will be adaptable and change our styles.
We've all heard this phrase before, defense wins championships. Popovich, all about defense. He's very sound with his overall defensive approach, and he can really build schemes. His strategies are effective, and they slow down the other team's star.
For my money, not just one of the best NBA coaches of all time, he's one of the best coaches of all time in any professional sport.
That's pretty.
I agree, Ernest.
He's had season
I'm
after
trying to
season
think of him.
at the highest level. That does it for us for now. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you later.
Welcome to Noche Latina here in the NBA. A Latin flavor to the night's festivities as we get ready to go. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg alongside. And our sideline reporter tonight is Doris Burke. Western Conference battles, always fun. This time it's the San Antonio Spurs intent on protecting home court. They traveled to Memphis last time they faced the Grizzlies and came away with a win. And with that win, they evened up the season series at 1. Piece, giving them a chance to pull ahead right here.
Their percentage from long range in that game was off the charts. It seemed like anytime the fans got a little hostile, they just started to take it up a notch from beyond.
The bombs were really falling, weren't they? I mean, great shooting, especially when you consider it was on the road.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. So the Grizzlies 5 right now. And off is the 4 with Gasol in the middle. Smart is out there with Martin. And it's Gay in at the small forward position. And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
Well, that was a quick foul for him there. The refs are certainly calling it close.
On defense, Memphis. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing the last matchup with the Lakers.
Just looking at the stat sheet, they gave far too many free throws away in that game. Maybe it was the noise in the building or something, but they really looked rattled.
Well, Greg, I don't know if it was the biggest reason for that loss, but all of those misses from the stripe clearly had an impact on that game.
Well, Paul Pierce hinted that he could hang him up soon. He had that amazing run, has nothing left to prove in the NBA, and I would say of all the players in last year's playoffs, had some of the most dramatic individual shots we have seen from one guy in a long time.
He did, and you know, you forget he's done that really over the course of his entire career.
Sure.
Just kind of funny to see him doing it in a Wizards jersey, but you talked about it. He's going to go down as one of the all-time greats, no doubt about it. So many big moments over the course of his career, and also for all the kids out there, the best maybe footwork we have in our game. If you want to improve as a player, watch Paul Pierce's footwork.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Well, Kevin, Greg Popovich Popovich had a few moments to share with me. He said a big part of their focus defensively will be on trying to contain Rudy Gay, adding he presents some challenges because he can shoot over the top and also he's a tremendous finisher inside. We've got to force him to that left hand, but I'm hoping we won't have to double too much because they have plenty of other guys who can knock it down. Kevin, the challenges are full.
All right, Doris, thanks. Here's Smart following the basket by Chris Paul. Gay outside. Gasol setting the pick for Gay, and they call an illegal screen here.
All right, a moment to check out stats for Duncan. He's been dominant over the last month. He's around 14 points per game, 13 rebounds, and over 2.5 blocks. And the intimidation factor that he possesses with his shot blocking and rim presence, really the backbone of their defense.
Yeah, you know, he's protecting the rim like it's his family. I mean, don't even think about going in there.
And Memphis making a change here. Gibson's checked in. Paul kicks to Green. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Green's got his first 3 points of the game.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
Wow, that's a really smooth finish.
That's why we and they always love seeing him at the end of those breaks. He makes it look fun and easy.
There's the feed to Smart. Here's Randolph. And again, Memphis no good. Spurs leading by 5. Paul outside. West setting the pick for Paul. To the inside, Duncan. Offensive rebound. And he gets it to go.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Martin the pass to Smart. Here's Randolph. And again, Memphis no good. Last game for the Spurs, they pick up the W against the Miami Heat.
They needed a few extra minutes to get the W in that game, but they got it just the same.
I like the way they handled themselves in that overtime period, Greg. They had a whole lot left in their game in that extra period.
5 on the clock. Here's Duncan. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Duncan's got his second basket of the game.
What a sweet assist by CP3.
Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Kevin Martin on the wing. And ball over to help. In the corner, Randolph with it. Gay drives in. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
Well, I tell you what, it's easy to get spoiled watching this fella. I mean, he just makes it look so simple.
In a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Spurs.
Fellas, they're passing the ball the way you're supposed to here in this first half.
They've established their presence in the paint tonight. Also, a lot of their scoring to this point coming from down low.
Now here's Paul. A 14-point game for him in the win against Miami.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
Here's Smart, trailing here by 8. Randolph a screen. Great tee that time from Green.
Well defended, though, and he's not someone who handles that kind of pressure very well.
And it's Paul penetrating. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Martin dishes to Smart. And Gibson kicks to Gay. Gibson with the screen on Green. Gay passes to Randolph. Rebound San Antonio.
And you really thought that was going to be a gimme, but unable to convert.
Yeah, and a little self-talk, angry self-talk for himself after that miss.
Duncan misses.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
It is so hard to contain him. He just seems to get it done however he has to do it.
And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
traditionally, many of the great free throw shooters have come from the point guard ranks. Here are the ones leading the league this year. Chris Paul, fourth.
They are as reliable at the free throw line as you're going to find in this league. And that's something we've come to expect from the point guard position.
Yeah, typically you're going to find your best free throw shooters at that point guard spot. But it doesn't happen automatically. I mean, these fellows are consistently working and practicing to keep that percentage as high as it is.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Boris Diaw's checked in for West. Ginobili comes in for Paul Pierce. And Tony Parker is subbed in for Chris Paul. Well, Greg, we were just talking about the assistant that was hired was Becky Hammond, a phenomenal player for a very long time in the WNBA. And, Mark, you know, you and I were talking about this before. She was a perfect candidate to become the first full-time female assistant.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it might not seem like that big a deal to some, but this was a big-time barrier breaker that the Spurs pulled off.
The Spurs making a switch here. Mills is checked in, and the Grizzlies also with the sub. Green's checked in. Martin attacking. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play chance here. And he's got his first chance at the line here.
Yeah, it's good to see him with his free throw percentage up over 80.
Yeah, guys, I mean, he's been a very steady hand for them when it comes to his free throw shooting.
Now here's Ginobili. He's making his presence felt offensively with his scoring average up there at almost 13 points a game.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
Smart with the ball. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Here's Green. Rebounded by Manu Ginobili.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear. They're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far.
Again, the miss by the Spurs. The Grizzlies trail by 6. Here's Smart. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him. San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Diaw sets the pick for Parker. To the paint. Gibson with the steal. Now Gay pushing it up. No one back to stop him. The big dunk at the end of the break.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
Here's Parker. That one's in. His first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
Outside, Martin. It's rebounded by Boris Diaw.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Shots good by Mills.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Gay right side. Martin with the screen for Gay. Smart kicks to Martin. The 3 from Gay. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
And he's clearly led the way offensively. The question is, can they ride him and get back into it?
Ginobili kicks to Diaw. Back to Ginobili. Screen by Duncan. And here's Mills from the arc. And again, it's the Spurs from deep.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
And Greg, you know, for Popovich being with the Spurs for so long, since 1996, Clark, he is actually the longest tenured coach in all of sports right now.
Amazing, Kevin, and he's done it through winning. I mean, the 3rd fastest coach ever to get to 1,000 wins. You compare his numbers with any coach in any sport, and they stack up as Hall of Fame caliber.
Bargnani is checked in for Memphis. White comes in for Rudy Gay.
He always knows where his teammate's going to be, and, Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right waiting for him.
And a moment now to check out the numbers for Manu Ginobili. Breaking down his play since the All-Star break. He's putting up about 14 points a night, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. And this is the kind of strong, steady play you like to see. He's earning his keep and helping them win games.
And guys, they're finally getting the consistency they wanted to see from him. Look for that to continue. They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
And they may have found the Achilles heel of this defense. That was their 9th straight point from beyond the arc.
Now here's Smart. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game. Ball's knocked loose. Just 5 to shoot. Wright sets a screen for Green. Here's Bargnani, and a good offensive board, and he gets the bucket.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence.
Now here's Ginobili. Parker's shot is off.
Boy, that's a surprising miss right there. He usually feasts on those wide open opportunities.
Smart dishes to Martin. Smart with the ball. He's picked up by Parker. To the middle. Here's Mills, and it's good on the assist by Parker. Mills has got 8 points.
Boy, that was a thing of beauty by Parker.
The Grizzlies trail by 8. Wright sets a screen. Martin against Ginobili. Martin the pass to Bargnani. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
It's becoming a theme in this game, Clark. They are piling up the points in the paint.
Now here's Ginobili. Shot off the pick. And the shot no good, a bit short.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
Passes it to Bargnani. A rebound by the Spurs. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Ginobili kicks to Parker. Shoots from 12. And Wright pulls it down. Martin against Parker. Martin dishes to Wright. Right wing to the middle. Takes it from 10. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. And now just a 4-point Spurs lead. Ginobili. And we reach the end of the first quarter. Spurs lead by 4. And we'll be back. And the San Antonio Spurs have really popularized that unselfish offensive style of play. Manu Ginobili talked about their Spurs approach. There's a lot to be said for knowing, Greg, who you are and what your game plan is, and there may be no other team that gets that better than the San Antonio Spurs.
And Kevin, it helps to have that core of Manu, Tony, and Timmy there as the foundation, and coaches on the floor for each new wave of players that come on board, whether it's Leonard or Splitter, Mills, Green, or any of the other role players that have come through this Spurs organization.
Welcome back to Noche Latina, celebrating the Latin culture and their love for the game of basketball. It just keeps growing. And taking a look at San Antonio's performance here, what do you think they've been doing or not doing?
The roof is up right now, guys. It's raining in here. A lot of threes through the first.
Hey, sometimes when it rains, it pours, and they have not let up from beyond the arc.
So on the floor to begin things for Memphis here in the second quarter. Green is the 3 with Zebo at the 4. Martin is out there with Smart. And it's Gasol. And at the 5, home in the paint. Paul kicks to Pierce. Again, Pierce missing. You can say so much about Marc Gasol and his defensive impact. As we all know, the Defensive Player of the Year back in 2013.
Yeah, tremendous size, Kevin, and the awareness to always get his body and frame in the right place to help anchor his team's defense.
Paul against Martin. Paul right side. Inside, out to West. Randolph grabs the board. Randolph's got his 3rd rebound on the night. To the paint. Green, the pass to Randolph. Shoots from the elbow. No good off the front iron. San Antonio's gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the 3 ball here. And he gets it to go.
Great job to hit his teammate on that move, Kevin.
The Grizzlies trail by 4. Martin kicks to Smart. Randolph, a screen on Green. Right side, Gasol. Left side, Randolph. Lets it go from the wing. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Randolph's got his first bucket of the night.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
5 straight baskets, Greg, resulting from assists. They're playing as one unit out there.
And it's West missing. The Grizzlies have gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. Martin dishes to Randolph. 14 feet away. The shot is off. Now San Antonio takes it the other way. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. They'll be off to Oklahoma City for a meeting with the Thunder after this one. That'll be a 2-game trip. Anderson outside. Shot clock at 5. Sinks it from just inside the baseline. Anderson's got his first bucket in this one. The Grizzlies trail by 4. Martin kicks to Green. Outside, Martin. Gasol a screen. Green, the pass to Martin. Randolph sets a screen for Martin. Cannot hit. San Antonio leading by 4. Oh, no one around him. Off target from outside.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
Martin with it. West picks him up. It's Gasol with the drive. Lays it up and banks it in.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
And it's a defensive 3-second violation. The Spurs have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line.
Yeah, pretty good numbers on the season when you look at their free throw attempts, right around 78%.
And so he hits the technical free throw. Some changes for Memphis. Taj Gibson's checked in for Randolph. And Rudy Gay is subbed in for Jeff Green. They set the pick, and it's Paul penetrating inside West. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Paul's got assist number 5 here tonight. The Grizzlies trail by 5. Martin dishes to Smart. Gasol a screen on Green. Smart kicks to Gasol. Again, Memphis.
Nice pass. He got the ball right into his teammate's shooting pocket. On time and on target.
Martin against Paul. He kicks to West. And Gasol sends it back. And now with the fast break, Smart with the ball. Gay can't hit. San Antonio leading by 3. Green the pass to Paul. The kick out to Pierce. Plenty of room to knock down the shot.
And really, he's just done a great job of finding the open man every trip down.
Boy, it sure has seemed as though he's done it every time. It's been an awesome display of passing for him today.
Gay against Anderson. Gay dishes to Gasol. He feeds it to Gibson. With his first shot attempt, and it's Paul Pierce with the rebound.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
Paul for 3, and that one's good. Paul's got 10 points.
A little bit of a defensive breakdown there. He's not the guy you want to leave open on the perimeter. You've got to stay attached to him.
Usually you talk about how tough a player is, and you're always talking about big guys. But Chris Paul is as tough as they come playing that little point guard position.
Yeah, he's a power pack when you look at him. I mean, he's played through a lot of injuries and still has a big-time impact on the game. Most recently in the playoffs, he played through injury to beat the Spurs.
Boris Diaz checked in for West. And that one's good. 8 points for Marc Gasol.
And started hot, and he's only gotten hotter.
To the inside. Diaz can't hit.
Not too much congestion in the lane. I think he could have gotten a better shot that time, no question.
Gasol up top, defended by Anderson. Martin goes in. Smart, wide open, he fires. And again, it's Memphis with a three.
And last year, you could see Paul was hobbled in their loss to the Rockets in the second round. Still, most players wouldn't even have made it back out on the floor, much less been as effective as he was during the postseason.
Diaw with a wide open look. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got his 7th assist in the game. The Grizzlies trail by 6. Martin kicks to Gay. Feeds it to Gasol. Outside for Martin. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. Now when you think of the great playmakers in league history, John Stockton per game average double-digit dimes. Look at this. For his career, 15,806 career assists. A record you knew right off would stand for a very long time.
And guys, you know, you look up point guard in the dictionary, and there's a nice little picture of John Stockton there. I mean, he is an unreal distributor. Controlled the game like no one ever has before or since. It's no coincidence that Utah never missed the playoffs in any of the 19 seasons that John Stockton was at the helm.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing about Paul. He doesn't need to be blazing fast or quick to beat you. He can play seemingly on one leg and still dismantle the defense.
Duncan. It's rebounded by Memphis. Gay passes to Gibson. Here's Bargnani. There's the killer two-handed slam.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run. Don't you think? Clark with the hoop from there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
Rudy Gay on the wing. He's covered by Ginobili, and that is good. Wow, just a 2-point Spurs lead.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
That's got to be job number 1 right now. Nothing easy on the inside.
Well, they're really making a point of keeping the ball moving around.
Yeah, got to love this teamwork. I mean, everybody's involved and engaged. It's just a thing of beauty to watch.
It is, and Clark, that's the key. The D can't focus on one player, and no matter what anybody tells you, that ball will always move quicker than the defender.
And that'll be San Antonio as it goes out of bounds. Spurs retain possession. And Memphis making a change here. Lights checked in. Here's Parker. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Miami.
But what stood out for me was his gorgeous playmaking out there. I mean, over and over, he was finding his teammates in a great position to score.
6 on the shot clock. San Antonio needs to get off a shot here. No good from Ginobili. The Grizzlies trail by 4. Martin goes in, and the dunk by Wright.
He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
You know, he picks the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
Yeah, and in a close game, though, guys, those could be really important points.
Guys, Bargnani was compared to several other international players when he came out. Some said he was Nowitzki. Others thought he might be more like Yao Ming in terms of impact. Ming was the only other player taken 1 overall who had never played high school or college.
It's Parker with the drive, and the shot is good. Parker's got 4 this quarter.
They ran that inbounds play perfectly there to get the quick hitter.
Here's Martin out left to the wing. The open shot by Smart, and it's Memphis with another. And going back to international comparisons, Bargnani was keeping some pace with Nowitzki over his first 5 years, but that's when the injury bug laid into him, and that's not been the case.
You know, and Bargnani was really starting to play great on the offensive end, and defensively, he started to make an impact, but Nowitzki, on the other hand, just kept rising all the way to that true Hall of Fame status. Bargnani still searching.
Here's Parker, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. That one on Smart. And, of course, Tony Parker, so big for San Antonio in those championship runs. But word on the street was that Spurs coach Greg Popovich didn't always go easy on Tony. He really pushed him to the limit.
Yeah, you know, it started back when Tony was invited to the Spurs summer camp before the 2001 draft. One of the scouts was really physical with Tony, really gave him a hard time, and that was really the start of his maturation process in learning to deal with the NBA. And he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the D.
Gay against Parker. From 12 feet out. Bounces high off the rim and drops. 16 points for Rudy Gay.
And, you know, getting back to Popovich's relationship with Tony Parker, Pop made the decision to draft Parker. So he obviously saw something. But Pop's a perfectionist, and if you're going to play point guard for him, you've got to deliver consistently. I don't think they can ask much more of him than what he's done this quarter.
The Grizzlies trail by 6. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. It's Gay with the drive. Over to the wing. Smart. And the 3 off target. Diaw dishes to Parker. Here's Ginobili. No good trying to beat the buzzer. And so we conclude the first half. Spurs out in front. Up.
Andrea, you've...
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Ernie Johnson along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. A stellar first half for Tony Parker. He had 12 points, 3 assists, and 1 steal. Kenny, what was your take on San Antonio?
Well, the reserves really came through when they needed a spark. This is a close game. Any points you can get from your bench are huge. I thought the bench guys came in and inserted themselves like they wanted a starting spot. And that's what you want. Subs who are ready to produce the moment they step on the floor.
Shaq, your take on... And now, folks, it's just about time for the third quarter to be...
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. Rudy Gay having a dominant impact in this game.
And the thing I noticed most in that first half was his offense. He was not wasteful with his opportunities and also did a great job of converting with the chances he had.
I agree with you, Greg. Judicious shot selection. All of his looks were good looks.
Green out there with Chris Paul. And it's Pierce. Then there's Duncan. And it's West in at the power forward position. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. Here's Smart. Here's Gasol outside for Martin. Duncan brings the double team. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Offensive rebound. Spurs leading by 6. West setting the pick for Paul. To the paint. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
And you know what? Last season, Tim Duncan added another record to his growing resume. I mean, he passes Karl Malone as the all-time leader in double-doubles.
With Duncan in the double-doubles record, it says so much about just how he has delivered on the floor, Clark, for so long.
Yeah, and if you're wondering, double-doubles didn't get recorded until fairly recently. Don't let that take away from what Duncan has accomplished. He's one of the all-time greats. Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out, almost like the 1-2 punch.
From the baseline, and it's West missing. The Grizzlies trail by 5. Pierce with the steal. Duncan outside. Paul for 3. That's good, and so Duncan with the assist. And that's 13 points for Chris Paul.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
That is a nice pass. I will give you that.
Yeah, he's on the money, that's no doubt. That one goes. Count it.
These defenders look overmatched right now, especially inside.
Well, they've given up 10 of the last 12 points from close range. So I'd have to agree with you, partner.
5 to shoot. Back to West. Another one falls for San Antonio.
Pretty passing. Timely recognition as to where the open man was.
Smart kicks to Gay. Randolph, a screen on Pierce. To the right side. Randolph, a screen. Martin for 3, and he gets it to go. Martin's got 9. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Martin against Paul. There's the dish to West. And he gets it to go. 10 points for him.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
The Grizzlies trail by 7. Gay outside. To the middle. Here's Gasol. And he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
Cutting into the lead with a huge one-hand throwdown.
That's how to get your team back into it.
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, guys, that might also put a spark into those guys. You love the closeout on that possession.
Excellent defense. Active, and he made it a very tough shot for him.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
You know Gasol is playing well. 8 rebounds and 2 blocks. He's doing all the things you can ask of a player in the low post.
Definitely. It's the blocks, the rebounds. You name it, he's done it.
Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for the Spurs. Green, he's checked in for Memphis. All up top, covered by Martin. And the shot is good. 15 points for Chris Paul.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Outside, Martin. In the corner, Smart with it. And he gets it to go from the corner. Smart's got 9 points.
He had his head on the swivel and was able to pick out the pass and get the assist.
West with a wide open look. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got assist number 10 tonight with that last one. The Grizzlies trail by 6. Martin kicks to Green. Randolph against Pierce. And it's Randolph penetrating. Rejected by Pierce.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
Green with the ball. Out guarded by Smart. Pierce with a wide open look. They get it back. Memphis has gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. To the inside. It's stolen by Green. Martin against Paul. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
If you look at Chris Paul, you're looking at a guy who really is the standard bearer of point guards. I mean, he can pass, he can score, he plays great defense. He also competes. But what makes him the floor general that all others are measured against, really the instincts and leadership.
Taj Gibson's checked in for Memphis. And it's Green missing.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
West outside. He dishes it to Anderson. Shot clock at 6. Outside, Green. There's the basket and make it a double-digit lead. Green's got his 3rd basket of the night. Going back to Chris Paul, if you could build a point guard from scratch, Clark, he might be the model.
Yeah, I tell you what, you could do much worse than him, that's for sure. One of the very best. 6 times he's led the NBA in steals. Just an incredible all-around player. One of the greatest team leaders, I think, in the history of the league as well.
For the last 2 seasons, he's led the league in assists. You're right. Jeff Green on the wing. He's covered by Anderson. Looking to end the run. Shot is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down now to just 9 on the basket from Gibson. Spurs have gone 6 of 9 from the floor here in the second half. They've got to be happy with that. Paul goes in from the baseline. The shot is off. Good work defensively by Martin. The Grizzlies shooting a stellar 60% since the halftime break. Gibson setting the pick for Green. The second effort, and it's laid in by Gibson. Gibson's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Where's the box out? Some easy second chance opportunities there.
Those kinds of mistakes drive me crazy and will absolutely derail a team's chance to win.
And for most of his career, Taj Gibson has been a tremendous role player up front. G8, he's been extremely steady over 6 full seasons.
And Kevin, he gives you a lot of energy and athleticism when he enters the game. He's got the great length with that 7'4" wingspan. But to me, it's not just about having it. It's about the fact that he utilizes it. And it really allows him to get in there and attack the backboard and contest shots.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Boris Diaz checked in for West, and it's Ginobili in for Daniel Green.
Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand jam, you're right.
And I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will start shrinking even further.
Here's Diaz. Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got double-digit rebounds now in the game.
Yeah, you know, talking about Gibson, he started 70 games his first year and made the all-rookie team. But thereafter, it had been mostly a 6-man off the bench through last season. It happens, but it's still somewhat unusual for a guy to go backwards like that. Up high and down hard with the one-hander.
Got a little extra force for that one, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I think that's going to rouse up his teammates, no doubt.
And he gets it to go. 6 points for Paul Pierce.
Superb assist there. He played the role of the maestro on that one.
And talking about Gibson, if he ever wants to be seen as a high-level starter, he needs to work on a few things. More bankable moves in the post, more fluid post game, if you will, and really increased strength and consistency. I think those things will carry him to that starting point. I tell you what, I'd settle for having as many points in this game as he has rebounds.
Yeah, I'd echo that. I mean, we're witnessing something special here today, Greg.
Good-looking screen by Gasol. Right side, Gibson. Martin against Paul. And it's Martin missing. Spurs leading by 5. Here's Henderson. Great D that time from Green. And here we go. The Grizzlies on a fast break.
No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a 1-footer. Come on now.
Paul outside. Now here's Ginobili. He's tightly guarded. Paul outside. Takes a 3. It's rebounded by Memphis. Gasol's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. Martin with it. Chris Paul covering. And it's Martin penetrating. Yes! And the foul. They get Boris Diaz.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Yeah, they have really owned the interior. You've got to collapse that defense and force them to beat you over the top.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Tim Duncan, who's checked in for Pierce. Mills comes in for Anderson, and Parker's subbed in for Chris Paul. Gibson the screen. Martin kicks to Gibson. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
Boy, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip. They've got a battle inside.
This game has been a battle, and maybe they're starting to just run out of gas a little bit.
Martin kicks to Green. Gibson setting the pick for Green. Out to the right wing. Right, left side. Martin from outside. Shot is off. Solid defense there from Ginobili. And Mills kicks to Ginobili. Sinks the triple. Ginobili's got 6.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
Outside, Green.
And that's a punch to the jaw. This game as tight as it can be, and he pulls something off that we might not even see in the All-Star game, Kevin.
But, Clark, I don't know that he planned it out too far in advance. That was one of those things that just happened.
I think it was premeditated.
I really don't. I think that he's one of those guys that just plays off of instinct, and they don't mind him making those kinds of plays, even in a close game.
Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Kia. 1:07 left to play in the third. Here's Parker. Good for basket number 6 from him in the contest. He's shooting 6 for 12. Clark, third quarter here, and 5 lead changes so far.
Yeah, it's really been a bit of a tug of war. Back and forth we go.
And guys, neither team has been able to pull away.
Here's Green. It's good from the top of the key. Green's got 8.
They're perfectly content to keep going to that mid-range jumper. If the defense is going to give it to them, they'll take it all day.
And it's about getting open looks, and they've used that shot with great effect here tonight.
Outside, Martin kicks it to right, and Smart now atop the key. Outside, Green. Fires for 3. Rebound by Parker. Pass to Ginobili. Gibson with the steal. Outside, Martin. Just 3 on the clock. And there's the call on Brandon Wright. That's his first foul.
Yeah, a bit over-eager right there. Left his feet too early.
Yeah, and if you're already boxed out like he was, just back up. Because if you don't, you're going to get called for the over-the-back foul every time.
We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Grizzlies. We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The fourth quarter of action getting started. So on the floor for Memphis. Gay and Randolph are the forwards. Smart is out there with Martin. And it's Bargnani in at the 5 spot. Rejected by Randolph. Memphis moving it around. Smart misses.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Martin against Green. Pass to West. Solid shot from the distance of about 14 feet. West has got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for San Antonio. Martin kicks to Randall. From the line, that's good. And the Grizzlies lead by 1.
He hasn't really done much on the offensive end, but he's worked within the team concept to help them get the lead. He's done some other things other than scoring to help his team get the lead here.
Rejected by Randolph. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Randolph. A different look now for San Antonio. Pierce comes in for Patty Mills. And it's Paul in for Tony Parker. Marc Gasol's checked in for Memphis. 6 on the shot clock. Paul for 3. The rebound by Gasol. Gasol's got rebound number 13 with that last one. Martin kicks to Smart. Dishes it to Gay. Good, and Smart gets the assist. And that's now 19 points for Rudy Gay.
And after his last game, really not surprised to see him as hot as he is here tonight.
And the basket by Pierce.
He's shaking off that slow start, giving them a boost here in the second.
There's the pass to Gasol. It's stolen by Duncan. And here we go. Fast break. Paul's got it. Gay with the block. It falls for basket number 9 from the field. He's taken 14 shots to get there. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Grizzlies.
We've seen them make the extra effort. From a defensive standpoint, closing out airspace and sending shots back.
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition.
Paul passes to West.
And for David West last season, the thought was he might increase his production with Paul George out, but the opposite happened. West suffered his lowest scoring output in a decade, only 12 points per game on 47% shooting. Rough showing for the former All-Star.
So he picks up just 1 from the line that time.
It's been a good night for David West. 15 points, and he's getting it done on the glass, too.
You're right, Clark. He's done some real nice work on the inside.
San Antonio trailing here. Paul dishes to Green. And Gasol sends it back. Memphis has gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Smart kicks to Randolph. Shot left block. Rebounded by the Spurs. Green's got 5 rebounds tonight. Spurs have gone just 2 of 8 in this fourth quarter. The final quarter not treating them well so far. Ball outside. The feed to West. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And it's West again missing. Grizzlies have gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the fourth quarter. Martin the pass to Gasol. Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. And that one's good. Gasol's got the lead up to 4 now for the Grizzlies.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Greg, the play in the paint has gone almost entirely all their way.
Paul kicks to Pierce on the corner, and a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. 11 points for Paul Pierce.
And you can just see he's a different player since coming back from halftime. When you're talking about the greatest clutch players ever, that list needs to include Paul Pierce. I mean, he slowed down a bit, no doubt, but don't let that fool you. If you give him any kind of look at the end of the game, he'll cut your heart out.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Dave Yeager coaching his team during that break. He told them the game is right there for the taking, fellas, but we've got to be first. First to loose balls, first to the rim. We have to give our all right here. Kevin, now's the time.
Right back to the basics there, using the one-hand slam for that one.
Doesn't he make the basics look pretty exceptional?
Yeah, he does. They look sweet when he does it.
And he better stay with those basics because this game is still yet to be determined.
To the inside, Duncan battles through traffic and lays it in. Looking back at Paul Pierce's career, Clark, so many game winners, none more impressive than his jump over Dwayne Wade in the first round of the 2010 playoffs.
Yeah, you know, Shaq nicknamed him the Truth for good reason. I mean, Pierce grew up in L.A. and reportedly dreamed of playing with the Lakers. Ironic that he instead became one of the Celtics' all-time greats.
Spurs trail by 5. Paul dishes to Green. West kick. To Paul. Passes to Duncan. Cannot hit. And the Grizzlies going the other way now. Feeds it to Smart. Here's Randolph. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
In a league that's becoming more and more pick and roll oriented, Zach Randolph is more of a throwback, if you will. I mean, he likes to back his man down and battle for those offensive rebounds.
Screen by Duncan. Shot off the pick. Again, Duncan missing.
And that's a well-contested shot.
Well, we've seen him before. He does not allow you to just get easy baskets. He's always going to make you work for it.
The shooting percentage continues to elevate here in the second half.
Well, as a group, they've been harmonic since the break. In sync. Good team basketball resulting in high-quality shots.
To end the run. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Oh, I love the power forward. Zach Randolph always seems to carve out space, the space he needs to play well.
Yeah, he's unorthodox but extremely gifted. A nice blend of physicality with high skill level, especially when you talk about shooting the ball.
Gasol screen. He lobs up the alley-oop pass. And the jam by Rudy Gay.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Guys, this one is threatening to get really ugly.
Outside, Green. And the wide open shot from Duncan. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Duncan's got 5 points now this quarter.
Just a major size difference between the defender and shooter on that possession.
And Greg, without a hand in his face, he's simply going to spray whoever's there. And now we can see them really working it inside.
Yeah, Clark, quality looks at the rim. That's fueling this run.
They kick it out to Green. Takes a three. It's rebounded by Randolph.
Their rebounding has been off the charts today, guys. Reason number one, this game is out of hand.
Exactly, Clark. Their lead is not surprising given their advantage on the backboard.
And to nobody's surprise, Zach Randolph enjoyed an outstanding season, Clark, in 14-15.
And, you know, ironically, by taking more of a backseat to front court make Marc Gasol, Randolph played better, the best rebound rate of his career.
Inside, then Gasol with the dunk.
Tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
Ah, that's bringing it down hard, Clark.
Yes,
Bring it down hard,
yes,
my brother.
Symbolic there as well of the effort here tonight.
Duncan with the screen for Paul. No good on the triple.
And for the Grizzlies, they had to be encouraged by Randolph's play after signing him to that extension. I mean, he'd been set back by the knee injury, but he came back in a big way.
Here's Gasol. A rebound by the Spurs.
Not really necessary with nobody on you. I mean, why put yourself off balance on that shot when you're wide open?
Here's the pass to West. The turnaround, 8 for 15 with that made basket, but he's not satisfied yet.
And Randolph happy to be back in Memphis. He said, this is home. This is where I belong. And look, he's helped establish this team as a power in the Western Conference. And for me, this is the right place for him to be.
Look at what Smart has done so far. 9 points, and what a game he's had passing the ball, too.
I love the fact that he plays for his teammates, really spreading the ball around, getting everyone involved. And they're drawing more whistles and working their way to the line here in the second half.
And guys, I think it's exactly the right thing to do with the lead. Keep going at defenders and find a way to get yourself to the line.
Here's Green. Parked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call.
Yeah, foolish play. He's got to be thinking out there.
Which he clearly wasn't on that play. Or maybe he was thinking just about something other than basketball.
Well, speaking of thinking, back home, guys, we call that a good old-fashioned brain freeze.
And the rebound goes to Duncan. Spurs trail by 14. Paul outside. He kicks to West. And he jams it with authority.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And, Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Yeah, it's really been quite a contrast. I like the way they're attacking the middle and at their offensive end.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
And the Grizzlies leading by 12. Martin goes in. And he's now got the double-double. 11 points and 19 assists. That's not as easy as he made it look, guys. You've got to have some skills to pull that baby off.
Well, he's got plenty of those skills necessary.
And you know what?
Man.
That man can climb a ladder.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Kevin, Greg Popovich was just going over the plan with his team. He told his guys that their offense needed to run through West. Coach has a lot of faith in him offensively and let his players know it, insisting that he be at the forefront of what they do at that end of the court from here on out. A few late-on-the-fly adjustments as the situation gets more desperate for them. It's going to be a tough hill to climb, guys.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. And he knocks down the first one.
Paul's been great. He has 18 points and 15 assists. He's passing the ball so well right now and is really focused at the charity stripe, too.
And, Clark, you can just see him oozing with confidence right now.
And the Grizzlies leading by 12. Left side, Randolph. Outside for Martin. They double him with Green. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Smart misses.
Oh, tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket when that fella's in the middle.
Lets it go from 11. No good. And Memphis the other way now. Martin with it. He's picked up by Paul. Lets it go from 14. That's good from Randolph on the assist by Martin.
Boy, he's having a great half here. Exactly the opposite of the first.
Green kicks to Paul. West up on top. He feeds it to Green. And stolen by Gay. 1:33 left in the fourth quarter. Gasol a screen. Here's Smart. Terrific design on the pick play. And he lays it in. Smart's got 4 points this quarter.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority. Very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for Memphis.
And Clark, we got to see a display of offensive prowess in this one that got it done. High scoring game.
Well, basket after basket, they were in attack mode all game long.
And so checking out their record tonight, that'll mark win number 32 overall.
And they've put themselves into the driver's seat in regards to the season series with this team. Tonight's win will give them a 2-1 edge with only one left to play.
You know, no matter what happens next time they meet, I think this was the biggest game they'll play against each other this season. Getting that 2-1 advantage means so much.
And you have to look back at this and see the huge game it was for Marc Gasol. You can set a tone with defense, and that's exactly what he did with how he protected the rim.
Now the dish to Pierce. Shot off the screen, and Green gets it to go.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Martin kicks to Randolph. It's Gay on the wing. So no problem for Memphis as they get the win. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
Well, gentlemen, I'm here with Marc Gasol. And Marc, how would you break down this game in terms of the team's performance and ability to come away with this win?
Just a good all-around night. We believe that in the fourth quarter, I think we did a good job of, staying in the game. We just believe. On to the next one.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaq and the Jet as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Marc Gasol. No matter what they threw at him during the second half, it seemed like he had the answer and was able to find all the shots he wanted. Kenny, what did you think? And that'll do it for tonight. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson, and it is my pleasure to be with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. And Memphis is where we'll be going just moments from now, as the Grizzlies will be going up against the Denver Nuggets. Well, for Denver, 2 games into the season series against this team, they're tied at a game apiece, looking to grab the edge tonight. I'll tell you one thing we've seen during this grit and grind era in Memphis is that they are tough in the postseason. What is it, Kenny, about the Grizzlies' style that makes them so dangerous in the postseason?
They're just physically taxing over 7 games. Could you imagine just someone leaning on you for 48 minutes? That's what the...
Hello, and thanks for joining us, folks, for this midweek NBA action on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Doris Burke will be reporting from the sidelines. And for the Memphis Grizzlies, guys, they come in off that loss to the Spurs.
And I really felt in watching that game that they needed to abandon the three-point shot. It wasn't there. The percentage was horrific, but yet they continued to try and knock them down.
And I really think that's what did them in. I mean, sometimes it's just not there for you on the perimeter, and you can't try to shoot yourself out of a bad shooting night from outside.
Tip-off goes to Denver. Now let's take a look at Denver's opening lineup. They've got Barbosa, Aaron Gordon out there with Anthony. Then it's Moutier. And so here's Memphis. From 12 feet out, Gay can't hit. On defense, Memphis. Last game against the Nuggets, they lost in the Mile High City.
Yeah, I remember last time they met up, they just got ran out of the building. They weren't too happy with some of the calls in that game either.
Well, they felt they were called on far too many little nickel-dime fouls, little touch fouls. It ended up resulting in a lot of foul trouble for their starters.
Early on, 3 misses to open the game. Their offense right now still trying to find its way.
Barbosa gets the bucket.
Nice make for him as they get the scoring started.
Yeah, he gets it going, and who knows now, you know, it might be a really big night in store for him.
Now perhaps one of the most intriguing draft picks of this past summer, Emmanuel Moutier, can be a game-changing player, was going to play. Clark, as you recall, at SMU for Larry Brown.
He sure was, and went overseas instead, so we don't know a ton about him other than his reputation is sterling. Now we'll see if he can live up to it.
And that one's good, Jokic.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
For Memphis, they've gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Martin kicks to Randolph. And stolen by Gordon. Now here's Moutier, covered by Martin. The wide open look here for Anthony. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way.
I don't know. Maybe they're still working out the kinks on D, because that clearly was a breakdown.
Outside, Martin. Gasol on the high post. Here's Randolph, and it's good. Fought through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, how about that one? Able to maintain control and finish the play.
Yeah, we call that playing through the whistle. You know, he didn't give up on it when he heard the whistle. He kept his focus, his concentration, and he found a way to get the shot up and down.
Free throw drops for Zach Randolph. For Denver, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Here's the screen. Moutier with the ball. Working on Martin. Moutier with the basket. Moutier's got his first 2 points of the night. So for the Nuggets, their last game, a win against Dallas.
Well, listen, they own the boards at both ends of the floor in that game, and that's what wanted for them. Those extra possessions were invaluable.
Well, Greg, I think coming into the game, that's where they thought they had an advantage, and they did a great job exploiting it.
Now here's Anthony, following the miss by Kevin Martin. Good ball movement here by the Nuggets. Here's Barbosa, rejected by Randolph. Smart passes to Randolph. Gay outside. Drains the three-pointer. Gay's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Here's Barbosa. Makes it off the glass.
Huge hole in the defense that possession. He didn't waste any time cutting through it.
And it's Martin penetrating. Left side Gasol. The shot is off. And it's Denver the other way. Barbosa with it. Gay picks him up defensively. And that one's good. Jokic.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 points coming from inside the painted area.
And really something that the defense has to address.
Now here's Gay. Scoring-wise, he's definitely making his mark. Right now, he's averaging about 19 points a game. Gay against Barbosa. And here's Anthony for 3. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Here's Martin. He's coming off a 16-point game against San Antonio.
And also defensively, he was really aggressive. I mean, matter of fact, he had 4 steals over the course of that game.
Clark, looking around the league, there's no team that teams want to play less than the Memphis Grizzlies. They just wear you down.
Well, they play a physical brand of basketball. They play hard. Everybody's on the same page. And even if you beat the Grizzlies, they take a lot out of you in terms of how they try to wear you down.
And the Grizzlies played so well against all the other playoff teams. Part of it is that they just have a style that matches up well with anyone.
Now here is Barbosa. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Yeah, they're lasered in. I mean, really making the most of their possessions.
Here's Martin. They trail by 7. Outside Gasol. Gay in the corner. 6 to shoot. Shoots off the screen. That one drops, and he's now 2 for 5.
You know, that's the thing with the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, there isn't a team that gives them too much trouble anywhere in the league. They're good at home and on the road. They're used to playing in tight, low-scoring games, and they create that situation with their deliberate style.
Rejected by Randolph. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Randolph. Here's Jokic. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket. He's got 8. The Grizzlies trail by 7. Now let's find out what head coach Mike Malone had to say to Doris Burke. Doris?
On his mind, the difficult task of defending Zach Randolph. He said Randolph's especially tough because he's not only a go-to scorer on the low block and the pinch post, but also a guy who can pick up a lot of second chance points with his work on the glass. He's a 20 and 10 double-double guy for a reason. We'll have our hands full trying to slow him down. Guys, back to you.
And as always, Doris, thank you.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Good-looking screen by Gasol. Now here's Smart, guarded closely. And Gasol, here we go. That one falls. His second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3.
I mean, he makes plays like that in his sleep. The game is just far too easy.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Nuggets.
Yeah, maybe a change of the game plan right now. Looking at some different sets because of the matchup.
Yeah, I agree with you because they're looking to tweak things to maybe get those matchups working in their favor.
Grizzlies making a switch here. Green's checked in. And a switch here also for Denver. Ariza's checked in.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
Now here's Smart. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Martin.
And ran his man straight into the screen and got a clear path to the bucket.
That is how it is done.
Excellent team play there on the pick, and then he ripped it down.
And that was Kia bringing you the close-up on the big-time play. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that's the message they were sending with that foul. Nothing easy inside.
And he makes the first. Taj Gibson's checked in for Memphis. Denver leading by 11. On the floor for Denver as we get going here in the second quarter. We've got Anthony. Barbosa is out there with Moutier. Then there's Kenneth Faried. Here's Jokic. Moutier kicks to Barbosa. From outside off the mark.
Good pick, but he just couldn't make it count.
Yeah, nice job of setting the screen by his teammate there. And I'm sure he appreciated it.
Gay can't hit.
You know, for Carmelo last season, it was Murphy's Law. What could go wrong did go wrong. After signing Melo to a max deal, the Knicks management expected a bunch from him, but with the new offense and a bad knee, it didn't happen.
And we've played through the first minute here in the second. Randolph a screen to the wing on the left. Smart dishes to Martin. Passes it to Gay. Another miss by Gay.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
And here in the second with about a minute and a half gone by. Anthony on the wing. He's covered by Gay. And plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Nuggets.
Well, they come out of that locker room with a hot hand. Those jumpers have been falling for them.
And also another aspect of their game that's been super so far tonight is how they've been sharing the basketball.
And the Nuggets making a change here. Gordon's checked in. Martin kicks to Gasol. And another miss by Memphis.
That's a huge part of what they want to do defensively. Limit his easy chances inside.
Barbosa against Gay. Uncovered, and the jumper falls for him. 11 points in the game.
He's got some serious momentum going right now. He's been great all day. Even last game, he was on fire.
Gasol setting the pick for Gay. Outside Gasol. Gasol missing again. Denver leading by 17. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. He had a nice open look right there. Barbosa's got 10.
Great job from behind the arc this quarter. I mean, shooting just under 60% for the game. I mean, that's smoking.
Gay passes to Randall. To halt the run. Score the basket. His second of 2 attempts.
And he's made more than his fair share of those today.
Moutier dishes to Carmelo. 11 feet away. It's rebounded by Memphis. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Gasol kicks to Gay. Outside Anthony. Here's Jokic. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. He's got 13.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. Outside Martin. He dishes it to Smart. Right side Gasol. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, Gasol's got 4 points in the quarter.
And, you know, he's enjoyed the kind of day you expect in terms of shooting the basketball. He can bring them right back into this game.
Moutier kicks to Anthony. And Denver again with the bucket.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
The Grizzlies trail by 20. Dishes it to Smart. He kicks it to Randolph. Wing shot on the way. They grab their own miss. Puts up the baby hook. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
First team foul.
The Grizzlies have yet to miss from the free throw line. They're 3 for 3.
Yeah, and over the course of the season, they're a respectable 78%. That comes in handy in close games.
First free throw is good. And so, Smart nails both of them.
And something that's been whispered about around the NBA is expansion. We know there are some markets that want desperately to have an NBA team. The NBA might not be at 30 teams for the foreseeable future. And that's going to increase the field goal percentage even more. They have a huge edge in that category.
And that's because they've been playing smart basketball. I mean, they've been very patient offensively, and their shot selection has been superb. You know, Kevin, it doesn't matter that he's one of the slower guys on the floor, especially when he gets that wide lane to the rim.
There are markets in the U.S. that want an NBA team. Seattle, which has been a great NBA friend, has been trying to get a team back since the Sonics left for Oklahoma City.
Clearly, Seattle's the lead name domestically. The NBA has also talked about adding a European division. A lot of different options for expansion. Don't think any will be acted on anytime soon.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage.
Barbosa kicks to Moutier. Back to Barbosa. Clock at 6. There's a good screen. Anthony in the corner. Good on the three-point shot. Anthony's got 12.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up a bunch of height, then you better be able to manufacture things in the air.
Time called here. The Nuggets decide to talk it over. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
During that break, Coach Mike Malone had some words for his team. He told the team he wanted their offense to run through Carmelo Anthony. Coach asked him directly to take the reins of their offense. He wants him to have a huge impact at that end of the floor for the rest of this game. Guys, they're clearly hoping those changes have an effect even before this game makes it to halftime. Kevin?
Thank you, Doris. And so here's Memphis. Denver able to drain the three. To the right side. Smart, wide open, he fires. Tried to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Tries again. And Barbosa pulls it down.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Pass to Anthony. Moutier with the ball. A 17-point game for him in the win against Dallas.
But his passing just blew me away. I mean, to see him operate their offense that way was a breath of fresh air.
Now here's Gay. Following the miss by Aaron Gordon, and he gets it to go.
And they've got to talk to each other on D there. Miscommunication, and now he's able to make them pay.
Kicks it to Barbosa. Pass to Jokic. The jump shot from the baseline is right on target. 17 points in the game.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
Martin, the pass to Gay. He feeds it to Gasol. Back to Gay. Gasol, a screen on Anthony. From deep, Gay, and that one's good. Gay's got 5 points now this quarter. Denver leading by 18.
And guys, you see how Rudy Gay just exploded last season. in the second half. I mean, I think he felt at ease in George Karl's system. And I think that's one reason why you're starting to see just how good Rudy Gay can be.
Some changes for Memphis. Brandon Wright's checked in for Gasol. Gibson comes in. There's the screen to the inside. It's rebounded by Memphis. Gasol's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Randolph is the 4 with Gasol in the middle. Martin is out there with Smart. And it's Gay in at the 3. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Dave Yeager. Here's Gasol, and there's the foul against Denver.
Denver foul. His second personal foul. First team foul.
Second half rolling along now. About a minute played here. Smart dishes to Gasol. No one near him. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. Barbosa with it. Out guarded by Smart. That's good from Moutier on the assist by Barbosa. And that's now 11 points for Emmanuel Moutier. A challenging stretch here for Memphis. Martin kicks to Smart. Just over a minute and a half have passed here in the third quarter. To the paint, off the screen, and the shot is good. That's 7 points for Zach Randolph.
That was an outstanding pick that gave him the room to bury the jump shot. Underrated, but not undervalued.
Down low, Jokic, and the layup is good after a nice lead pass.
Another gap in the defense found there, and they've really had their number today.
Smart kicks to Martin. Feeds it to Gasol.
That's his third personal foul. Second team foul.
Randolph a screen. Martin wide open. He fires. And again, it's the Grizzlies from deep.
He is scorching the D, exploding offensively.
Well, you know when you're in that kind of a zone, trust me, he knows he's in the zone right now.
Down low. And that one's good. Jokic. 21 points in the game.
Their second half has started quite well. They've been good on 3 of their first 4 attempts.
Martin the pass to Gasol. Can't get it to go. Now the Nuggets take it the other way.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
And back to Melo's top 5 draft mates in 2003 all having rings. You can't choose the team you play for as a rookie. Melo simply hasn't been surrounded by that much talent. That's why it was somewhat surprising that he re-signed with the rebuilding Knicks team last season.
Hey guys, talking about Melo, I mean, he's faced some difficult injuries here of late. That puts all the more pressure on him to win a ring as soon as possible. No way does he want to retire without that chance.
Now here's Moutier, covered by Martin. Here's the teardrop. Martin with the block, and that one's good. He's got 23. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Rudy Gay on the wing. Gasol setting the pick for Gay. Inside, then Gasol with the dunk.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
Denver's gotten 2/3 of their three-pointers to fall tonight. They're 6 of 9 overall. Here's Anthony. Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got 6 rebounds now in the game. The 9-foot shot. Gay misses.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
Over to the wing. No one near Moutier as he lets it go. That's in there. Anthony with the assist. Anthony's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Martin dishes to Gay. And there's the pass to Gasol. Gasol setting the pick for Randolph. 4 on the clock. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. Can't hit the turnaround jumper.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their work on the interior. Really a well-rounded effort overall.
Martin kicks to Gay. Bangs on the trifecta. Gay's got 5 points in the quarter.
And this is someone that can really hurt you from long range. He did that to a degree in the first half, and he's doing it now.
Moutier with the ball. He's against Martin. Puts up the baby hook. And again, it's Denver.
Really hard to find fault with anything he's doing this quarter, at least at the offensive end.
Gay outside. Another miss by Gay. Denver's gone 7 of 10 shooting from three-point land tonight. Excellent numbers from outside. Anthony with it. Now guarded by Smart. Shoots from 8. Can't get it to go. Some solid defense from Randolph. Memphis has gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight and nailed 5 of them. Randolph sets a screen for Gay. Inside. Randolph passes to Gasol. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle on a lot of contact there. Now we know that Marc Gasol was one of the most sought-after free agents this past summer. Clark all along most figured he'd be back in Memphis.
Yep, a winning team, max dollars, and don't forget.
Yeah, I get it 365. 12 months, 24/7. Gotta get it, I need it steady. No one.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome, everybody, to the final game of this year's badminton tournament. It's April Fool's Day.
Oh, you
April
caught me.
Fool's
I
Day.
thought I was in the wrong building, Ernie.
Oh, me too.
I was like, what the heck is going on here?
What game is this, is what I was saying. Anyway, it's 2K Sports, and it's the NBA. And we've got the world's biggest joker, Shaquille O'Neal, and one of the most clever ones, Kenny the Jet Smith. And tonight, it'll be the Memphis Grizzlies going up against the Toronto Raptors. For Toronto, they lost their first matchup against these guys. This, their final game against them in the regular season, looking to finish with a split.
Welcome to 2K Sports presentation of the NBA, but the bad news is there is no basketball, there is no NBA. The game has been canceled. Ha ha! Happy April Fool's Day, baby! This is the NBA, and we've got a great one in store. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And this game marks the start of a road trip here for the Raptors. There's still alive in the playoff hunt, just 2 games out of the final seed.
And I think it's an important game. They only faced this club twice this season, and you mentioned that loss in the first one. You hate to get swept in a season series.
Well, I agree with you. It's about pride and competition. You want to hold your own against every team you face. That's how you get respect in this league. You got to win games. You got to beat teams. You don't want them thinking they've got your number. Handle your business, and the respect will come.
Here are the 5 for the Raptors. Lowry and DeRozan are the guard tandem. Jamari Carroll is out there with Mirotic, and it's Valanciunas in at the center, locking down the middle. Now here is Martin. A 24-point outing in their last game against Denver. That's good.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Here's Lowry. First quarter, just over a minute played. Mar DeRozan on the wing. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play. What about Kyle Lowry on offense? The last 2 seasons, he's been absolutely dominant.
Yeah, he's developed enough as a point guard now to where he really knows how to direct and lead his team. He's not just a catalyst anymore. He's a leader, and that's the big difference I see with him. And his shot has become more refined.
Now, here is Mark. Very solid contribution from him as he averages over 20 points a game.
Another whistle, and he's got to be careful with his foul situation.
So it's Toronto now. They trail by 6.
You know, in talking about Lowry, you see his shooting percentages didn't change much, but his output sure did. I mean, averaging 17 points and 7 assists a game the past 2 seasons. He also converted more threes. I mean, there's very little he can't do on the offensive end.
So on the floor for Toronto to start this second quarter. The star pair of Lowry and DeRozan are the guards. Jonas Valanciunas is out there at Mirotic, and it's Carroll in at the 3 spot. Gay kicks to Mark. Gasol up top. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Randolph. Shot's good. Randolph's got the lead up to 6 now for Memphis.
Yeah, how about the purpose with which he's crashing the backboards right now? Some hard-earned second chance points.
You know, getting back to Lowry, I really admire his aggressiveness. On the break in the half-court set, doesn't really matter. He's really the guy who makes it happen for his team. He's a potent straw stirring that drink.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the chance to get out and run, and you could see right there why he does.
You look at him physically, and Rudy Gay is the complete package at the small forward spot. Nothing holding him back.
You know, Kevin, he comes in at 6'8", has that solid frame, unbelievable athletic ability with the speed to go with that for a player of his height. He is a true talent.
And it's Lowry penetrating. Shoots off the step back, hits the front of the rim and out.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
Here's Martin, kicks it out to Gay. There's the basket and make it a double-digit lead. And it's a 12-point Grizzly lead.
And with Rudy Gay, the physical part of the game has never been a problem with him. As great a physical player as any other small forward in the league, his one drawback is he can get in his own head at times and not play to his strengths.
And again, no good by Toronto.
He's given them little to nothing at the offensive end. I can't put it any other way.
And it's Martin missing. Raptors trail by 12. Gasol with the steal. And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for Memphis.
Well, I like the fact that they've already been getting a lot of high-quality shots in the paint.
And also knocking down the mid-range because they're making good decisions with the basketball.
Powell, he's checked in for Kyle Lowry.
Shooting 100% in the quarter. They've made them all, taking full advantage at the line.
I tell you what, nice job making the most of their opportunities.
They need this. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. 7 points for DeMar DeRozan.
And no doubt a lot of players can get in their own head, like Gay does at times. He does so much on the floor, it is odd when he vanishes for stretches of the game. On pure talent, he has few peers in the league.
And the Raptors call time here. This time they met was in Toronto.
And they lost a close one last time they saw each other. And you have to think that it was the foul trouble that really kept them from getting the win.
And, you know, as you said, Greg, when you are in foul trouble, it makes you less aggressive defensively. And when that's the case, it's hard to offer the kind of resistance that you need to. That was in the back of the mind, the foul trouble they were in.
And the Grizzlies with possession. They're on a 13-4 run right now. Gasol setting the pick for Martin. The dish to Randolph. The drive by Gay. Yes, once again, it remains perfect. 6 attempts and 6 hits.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Powell kicks to Mirotic. Left side, DeRozan to the middle. Valanciunas. Good work defensively by Gasol.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
Martin against DeRozan. And it's Martin penetrating. Smart dishes to Randolph. And stolen by Mirotic. Powell, the pass to Mirotic. And Valanciunas kicks to Powell. Back to Valanciunas. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. DeRozan dishes to Valanciunas. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. Valanciunas has got 6. Memphis leading by 13. Martin the pass to Gay. Takes the 13-footer and another basket for Memphis.
He is just tearing it up this quarter. That lead's not going anywhere while he's this high.
Mirotic the screen. Powell kicks to Mirotic. Inside. Powell, that's good. He has 7.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
And with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, you know, they haven't had to do much work on the perimeter.
Gay kicks to Martin. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Lock at 6. Gay dishes to Randolph. That one dropped for his second bucket. Mark him 2 for 4.
And I like the job they've done with working the basketball. They've been moving and getting quality shots.
And, Greg, their field goal percentage reflects that. I mean, they've been the much better team shooting the ball. And you know me, shooting percentage, always a function of shot selection.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
Outside, Martin. Dishes to Randolph, and Mirotic sends it back. And out of bounds it is. Last touch by Mirotic. The Grizzlies making a switch here. Gibson's checked in. Shot clock at 5. It's stolen by DeRozan. And even 3-on-3 break. Here's Powell. Up and in on the layup. Powell's got 4 points this quarter.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass.
Mirotic the screen. They set the screen. Here's Valanciunas, and Gasol sends it back. Martin the pass to Gasol. Powell pulls it in.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Pass to Mirotic. Now here's Carroll. He's got 5. Unloads from 9. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. And that's now 9 points for DeMar DeRozan.
You know, Dwayne Casey was once a player at Kentucky, took me and hosted me on my recruiting visit at Kentucky back in 1979. Actually got his coaching start at the school.
Here's Powell. An 11-point game for him in the win against Atlanta. Carroll kicks to DeRozan. Just 5 to shoot. The Raptors need to get a shot off. From deep. That doesn't go either for DeRozan.
He has got a lot of confidence in his game. You have to if you think you can knock one down from there.
Yeah, you know, I think he maybe needs some time for some direct admonishment.
Raptors trail by 12. To the paint. Here's Valanciunas.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
Martin kicks to Gay. Inside. And Gasol with the dunk.
How about that? Breaking out the Statue of Liberty from that dunk.
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yes, indeed.
Powell down low, working on Martin. Gasol, a screen on Carroll. Nice shot by Smart.
Boy, Gasol with a punishing pick that time.
Last game for the Raptors, they picked up the W against the Atlanta Hawks.
And really the signature of that game was what they were able to do from a defensive standpoint, particularly.
And the Grizzlies leading by 14. Randolph is the 4 with Gasol in the middle. Martin is out there with Smart. And it's Gay in at the small forward spot. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Dave Yeager. The Raptors shooting around 40% from the 4 here. Oh, and he's going up for the alley-oop here. Carroll dishes to Mirotic. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. They get it back. Valanciunas. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
And how about the offensive rebound with a little extra punch on the putback?
You're right, Greg. As they look to trim the deficit, Could we see them send a few more bodies to the boards from here on out? Maybe, just maybe.
Well, I don't think it would be a bad idea, Kevin. I mean, they could use all the second chance points they can get.
Gay kicks to Martin. He feeds it to Smart beyond the arc. Here's Randolph. Goes up again. Tough sequence there. They just couldn't get it to fall.
1 for 4 from the field since halftime. They're having a tough time getting it going here.
Valanciunas sets a screen for Lowry. It's DeRozan with the drive. Good D by Gasol.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
Gay with it. Lowry picks him up. And another miss by Memphis.
Ooh, and this is turning into a slow start here in the second half. Seems like they left that offense in the locker room.
Rejected by Gasol. DeRozan against Martin. Gay in the corner. And he's good on the 3-ball. Gay's got 20 points.
And just a little bit ragged defensively there, Clark.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
No good off the back of the rim. And the Grizzlies leading by 17. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. 22 points for him.
Well, I tell you what, when you get this kind of effort and efficiency from him, they're a really hard team to beat.
Lowry passes to DeRozan. Valanciunas dishes to Carroll. DeMar DeRozan on the wing. No good. Now Memphis takes it the other way. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Nuggets.
And they had to be sensational defensively on that night to compensate for the fact that they just couldn't find a rhythm offensively.
Well, I don't think they're really built to play those kind of grinded-out, low-scoring games. It just doesn't seem to be in their DNA to me.
Memphis shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here.
And as a unit, they're shooting 78% from the line. That's a solid number to work with on the season.
Here's what Toronto's going with right now. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Mirotic, and it's Powell in for DeMar DeRozan. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2. And what you have to like out of Valanciunas last season, improved efficiency. The game really, Clark, seemed to slow down for him.
Yeah, he entered the league a little green. I mean, would make a lot of mistakes, but had excellent tools. So with enthusiasm and hard work, you knew it was just a matter of time with him.
And for Valanciunas last year, his offensive production was similar to the year before, but he cut down on his turnovers. He also raised his shooting percentage to a career-high 57%, and that, my friends, is improved efficiency.
And the Raptors call time here.
You know, talking about Valanciunas, the light clearly went on last season. He was more assertive, refined his post game. The next step is to extend his shooting range so he can help space the floor on offense.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
During that break, Dwayne Casey had some words for his team. He went over the offensive plan, and that hinges on running through Valanciunas. Coach emphasized getting him as many touches as possible, saying he is going to be one of the guys to carry us the rest of the way. Clearly, some adjustments there had to be made because the time left for a comeback is quickly running out. Kevin, over to you.
Thanks, Doris.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
Here's Gay. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
How about the game for Rudy Gay? He's got 24 points, and he's got 9 points from behind the arc.
And that's been an important part of his game today. It's really spaced the floor.
Second free throw, no good. And Toronto has possession. Lowry with the ball. Zach Randolph covering. Patterson, the shot's good on the assist by Lowry.
Textbook, nice pass, great catch, even better finish.
Gay outside, and the pass to Randolph. And that one comes up a bit short. The Raptors shooting has been a little ragged, just 38% from the field. Carroll, no one around him. Off target with the open look. And the Grizzlies leading by 23. Martin kicks to Gasol. Lead pass was put in just the right spot. Gasol's got 12 in the game.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Here's Valanciunas, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
And a moment now to look at the numbers for Valanciunas. Over the last month, he has been spectacular. 6th in rebounding, and he provides that deterrent around the rim, ranking among the top 15 league-wide in blocks per game.
Boy, he's unbelievably driven, and he competes with you for the full 48 minutes. Glass eater.
And though he's been working on his offensive skills, defense and rebounding are Valanciunas' bread and butter. That was the case with him when he was playing in Lithuania club, and it's the case now.
It still sure is the case. I mean, it's hard to find a guy with this combination of size, athleticism, and fluidity. Just a tad over-aggressive at times, but I'd rather have to turn a guy down than to turn him up.
Bargnani is checked in for Zach Randolph. All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. Scoring breakdown for Memphis.
Fantastic passing. We saw it in the first half, and it's carried over here in the second.
They've really been on fire from beyond the arc tonight, too. I mean, a lot of their points have come from out there.
Bargnani kicks to Gay. Dishes it to Martin. Valanciunas on the double team. Gay passes to Bargnani. Again, Memphis.
And watching Valanciunas rebound, it's clear he has all the tools. Great anticipation, really looks to box out. Strong vertical. Might just need to add some strength to become a perennial 10-rebound-a-game guy.
Well, they've only got a slight edge in rebounding when you look at the numbers, but it certainly feels a lot bigger than it is.
Yeah, the score has a lot to do with that. Their overall effort and execution has been elite.
Lowry against Martin. Lowry kicks to Valanciunas. Can't get it to fall.
And for Valanciunas, he's been working on his defensive consistency. Last year, he actually increased his blocks per game while lowering his fouls per game. That's a big step forward in his development.
And he's really made the most of his opportunities today. I mean, he needs to keep working for those kinds of looks.
The drive by Lowry. Shoots from the baseline, and he knocks down the jumper. And that's 15 points now for Valanciunas. Memphis has gone 6 of 14 with the 3 ball tonight, just a little over 40%. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here.
And the Raptors shooting has been wayward so far. Only 37% from the floor. Setting the floor for the Raptors. Patterson is the 4 with Valanciunas in the middle. DeRozan out there with Powell. And it's Mirotic in at the small forward. Screen by Valanciunas. Fires from deep. Powell, that's good.
First 3 of the half. Second of the game. Can he heat up?
Green dishes to Randolph. Gasol is screen. Randolph goes in. That's a basket. He is 8th from the field, 8 of 14.
Wow, he is lighting it up here in the second half.
Here's Valanciunas. It's rebounded by Memphis. Gasol's got 15 rebounds here tonight. Back to Green. Wide open. It's hauled in by the Raptors.
Well, not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Well, it seems like this is something we've said quite a bit the last few years, but now we really feel like we're in a golden age for point guards. So many point guards and so many teams are the leaders. And
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Glad you are joining us today as we enter the final episodes of the NBA regular season. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, we'll be watching the Orlando Magic playing against the Memphis Grizzlies. And for Memphis, with a record of 3-7 over their last 10 games, they have been struggling. Wins hard to come by. We'll see if they can grab one tonight. And while we have a moment here, another discussion topic. Shaq, you are one of the most physical players the league has ever seen. Who would you say right now are the league's most physical players?
Sorry to correct you, Ernie. Not one of the most. But anyway, Ernie,
you're not sorry to correct me. You take great pleasure in it.
And one of the most humblest.
Elbow sandwich, that's right. So let me go, Ernie. Let's see. Point guards, how about Russell Westbrook? Mm-hmm. Shooting guards, I'm going to go with maybe D. Wade or Lance Stevenson.
Okay.
And at the small forward,
that's easy.
I got to go with the greatest of the game, LeBron King James.
Well, since he took the smaller guys, which is unique, I'm going to take the power forwards. Blake Griffin.
We're live, the home of the Magic, the Amway Center in beautiful Orlando, Florida. We've got some terrific NBA action in store for you today. I'm Kevin Harlan, and here with me today, Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Thrilled to be back in Orlando, the Magic ready for that home court advantage. And you look at this team, 20 games back from the top spot. We'll see what they've got.
And it's the last time they'll see these guys. A 2-game season series, and after losing that first one, I'd expect them to play with a little extra added motivation.
Greg, going winless against any team is not your desire. I mean, no matter how many or how few times you face them, that's not something you want on your ledger. That'll be motivation enough for them today, all by itself.
And the starting group for the Grizzlies. And off is the 4 with Gasol in the middle. Martin is out there with Smart. And it's Gay in at the 3 spot.
That's an efficient start for them offensively. Working in inside for the easy 2 points.
And Clark, that's what you like to duplicate time and time again for the rest of the game.
Now here is Martin. It's deflected. The Orlando Magic coming to this one following a loss to the Bucks in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I had the chills watching that. It really was a nightmare defensively for them. When you go into that building and get punished by some very hot shooting.
They didn't challenge the shooters. They didn't defend the shooters like they should have. And once the fans got into it, when the arena started ramping up and cranking up, it was over.
Here's Martin. Magic knocking down the tray. And that one's good.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Now, here is McGrady. He's coming off a 16-point game against the Bucks in Milwaukee.
And was a force on the defensive side as well. 4 steals over the course of that game.
Here's McGrady. It's a 3-point game. Clock is at 3. That's good.
That's 3 straight shots to fall here to start. Looking good.
On defense, Orlando. They just couldn't come out on top last time they took on the Grizzlies. That one was played in Memphis.
And turnovers were the story for them when they saw each other last. I mean, just a heartbreaking way to lose the game.
Yeah, and when you think about it, Greg, there was some really sloppy basketball being played by them, and they recognized that had they played a cleaner game, they could have gotten the win.
Big step last year for Vucevic's offense, Clark. Unstoppable at times, both on the blocks and facing up.
Vucevic is a real outstanding future all-star front court. Rebounds at a high rate in traffic and out of his area. Finishes, faces up. This kid has a lot of upside. I really like his game.
And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first.
No question he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
The Grizzlies shooting their first free throws of the game on this trip to the line.
Yeah, and over the course of the season, they're a respectable 78%. That comes in handy in close games.
And that's a little better than they did last year from the free throw line.
The Magic have gone 4-4 to start, so a nice offensive rhythm to start here. Bass with the screen. And it's Vucevic missing.
Well, you know what? All good things must come to an end, and they finally miss after making their first 4.
And slam dunk by Randolph.
A rim rocker.
Looked for a second like he might rip the cylinder loose.
I tell you what, that is some grown man strength on that attack.
Payton passes to Wagner. Down low, here's Vucevic, and he gets that one to go off the front iron. Vucevic has got his first 2 points. The Grizzlies trail by 6. It's Martin on the wing, covered by Payton. Martin against Payton. Martin with the bucket. Martin's got his second basket of the night.
I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A game rolling tonight.
Pick by Vucevic. Wagner, he's covered by Gay. Wagner passes to McGrady. To the inside. Bass. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And, you know, for Brandon Bass, such a big asset to Boston last year, and they're pushed to make the playoffs, especially after the Celtics had traded away several key veterans. His toughness, his strong mid-range game, that all helped.
And going back to Brandon Bass, he was Boston's only enforcer down low once Sullinger went out with the broken foot. At that point, Greg, no one thought the Celtics would make the playoffs, but Bass helped push them in.
And last season, one of the most meaningful in Bass's career in terms of his contributions really counting toward the bottom line. A lifetime role player. The outcomes of many games last year were swayed by how well he performed.
Here's Payton after Rudy Gay's bucket. Payton kicks to McGrady. Vucevic setting the pick for McGrady. To the paint. And it's Vucevic missing.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
Martin dishes to Gasol. Off the left rim and out.
Major defensive lapse right there. And he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You got to stay attached to him. We're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
A moment here to see the numbers for Kevin Martin. The past month has been surreal. 3rd in assists, and he's as opportunistic as anybody defensively, ranking among the top 15 league-wide in steals per game.
And, you know, you mentioned that he does a great job running the offense, spotting the open man, and making the easy delivery.
The Grizzlies trail by 5. Kicks it to Gay. Shot is no good, and Orlando will come the other way. Wagner, he's covered by Gay. The dish now to McGrady. The putback, and then Vucevic slams it in.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this league.
Quality looks they're getting, and they're capitalizing on them, guys. They have to be happy with this start offensively.
Now here's Gay. He had 34 points in the win against Toronto. Gasol setting the pick for Gay. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
Yeah, you've got to make sure your feet are set when you set those screens.
And Orlando has possession. And at home for the next game, it'll be Detroit pulling into town. And that will be the middle game of this 3-game homestand. So on the floor to begin things for Memphis here in the second quarter. Randolph is the 4 with Gasol in the middle. Smart is out there with Martin. And it's Gay in at the 3, the small forward.
Just no chance for the smaller defender to block that shot.
He's really, really good at using his size to free himself up for those mid-range jumpers. A master at it.
Now, here is McGrady. And all around the rim that time before dropping in. McGrady's got 8 points.
And really, it looks like he may just try to take this thing over on his own and really build that lead up.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Zach Randolph getting up there in his mid-30s, but his game has never been based on explosiveness. So it's all about strength, skill, and craft when you talk about Zebo, and he's aging gracefully.
And again, it's Orlando converting.
Well, there you go. I mean, if they're going to keep giving up open jumpers, they're going to keep getting burned.
Here's Gasol. He drains the quick shots. Gasol's got 4 points in the quarter.
Easy little jumper for him right there, guys.
McGrady kicks to Caldwell Pope. And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. With the shot, and Zach Randolph gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Payton against Martin. And the pass to Wagner. Screen by Bogut. Shoots off the screen. The shot misses. Good work defensively by Gasol. The Grizzlies trail by 18. And there's the feed to Smart. And it's Memphis with another. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Payton passes to Wagner. Screen by Bogut. To the paint. 8 feet away. The rebound by Gasol. The Grizzlies have gotten 4 of their first 5 shots to fall in the second quarter. Outstanding shooting. Martin dishes to Gasol. It's hauled in by Bogut. Bogut's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. McGrady. That is good. McGrady's got 10 points in the game.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Martin kicks to Gasol. It's in. That's his 3rd field goal of the game. He's 3 for 5.
The offense has a better flow, and it actually looks better here in the second quarter.
It does. They're playing with a little bit more bounce in their step and trying to close this gap. And one thing we know is that across the board in the NBA, attendance is up all over. Franchise values are also at an all-time high. Overseas, the game continues to grow as well.
Pass to Wagner. And that basket is going to count. Goaltending, the official call.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And I think taking a time here to talk things over is a smart idea.
One of the things you want to do is make sure everybody is clearly on the same page with the game plan. And sometimes you need a timeout to make sure that's the case.
And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. Dishes it to Smart. Pass to Gasol. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3. And the media deal in play says a lot about the popularity. It's not just broadcast. Fans are showing up as well.
Sellouts were at a record 700 last season, Kevin. The previous record was 676. Almost 22 million regular season fans. That's a big number.
Payton passes to Caldwell Pope. There's the pick. Here's McGrady. Again, the Magic score. Now here is Martin. Last time out he had 14 points. Gay outside. And it's Memphis with another.
Shooting much better here in the second quarter.
Yes, very, very impressed with how much more alive they look here to get back in.
Now here's Payton. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. Pass to McGrady. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. The Magic have gone 9 of 10. 1:02 left in the fourth. Rose goes in. Down low. Here's Noah. Connects.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Memphis has gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. So for Chicago right now, at the 4, it's Gasol with Noah at the 5. Levine is out there at Derrick Rose. And it's Butler in at the 3 spot. And here's the fast break. And Levine with the shot.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Special thanks to Kia for that sweet Kia Slam Cam replay. And they go to the intentional foul.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. It's 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. The playoff picture becoming much clearer, but still a handful of games yet to be played. For tonight's game, we'll be watching the Golden State Warriors as they go up against the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies have not been playing their best basketball. Dismal record over the last 10 games, just 2-8. Nothing seems to be going their way right now. And as we march toward the end of the regular season, Shaq, I want your opinion on veterans being rested in back-to-back games.
You know, Ernie, you hear a lot of people.
It's a Western Conference battle at the FedEx Forum in downtown Memphis as the Grizzlies look to work the home court advantage. I'd like to welcome you to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Taking a look at Golden State, they've got to be hoping that the road will be a little kinder to them than the winless homestand they just concluded.
I guarantee you what, guys, the adrenaline is already flowing on both sides. A rivalry matchup like this means a little more to the players than just any other game.
And not just the players, Greg. How about the fans, too? I mean, they get into this thing as well. We've got an electric atmosphere in here, just like it always is when these two teams square off. This should be a good one, and I'm glad to be right in the middle of it.
All right, let's set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. So for the Golden State Warriors right now, it's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson at the guard spots. Draymond Green is out there with Maurice Spates. And it's Durant in at the 3 slot. And Spates gets it to go. There are very few players you can call game changers on offense, but Mark, Stephen Curry is clearly one of them.
Well, the plus-minus for the Warriors with him on and off the court validates that. It's incredible how much better they are offensively when he's on the floor.
Smart, wide open, he fires. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol.
A good open look, and he splashes home the three.
Curry against Martin. It's Curry with the drive. Lots of room. And he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. Curry's got his first points of the game.
And Steph Curry, with his deep range and lightning quick release, really unique to our league.
Now here is Martin. He's coming off a 25-point game against Dallas. Another miss by Martin.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there.
Now here's Curry, following the miss by Kevin Martin.
And speaking of Curry, guys, that quick slingshot release, really one of a kind. For most of us, a quick flick shot like that would be lucky to draw iron, but he's able to do it with pinpoint accuracy.
No good from Gasol.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
It's Durant with the drive. Played in with a nice touch off the glass.
And a really good way to start the game. He's a guy who, if he gets it going early, he's going to give you problems.
In the corner, Randolph with it. Smart kicks to Martin. Picked by Randolph. Off the screen. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Martin's got his first points of the night.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of him.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Good-looking screen by Gasol. Right side, Randolph. And another basket for Memphis.
How about the screen that frees him up, though, for the jumper?
Warriors leading by 3. Curry with it. And it's Martin picking him up. Spade sets a screen for Curry. Traps in the tray. Curry's got 5 points so far.
And he's really been working to get those looks, and it's starting to pay off here early on.
First quarter of play, and just over 3.5 minutes in. Martin kicks to Randolph. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Tell you what, he's not an easy guy to stop when he's got his sight on the rim.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
Did he just go chop there with that one hand?
Mavericks in Dallas.
And I really felt in watching that game that they needed to abandon the three-point shot. It wasn't there. The percentage was horrific, but yet they continue to try and knock him down.
And I really think that's what did him in. I mean, sometimes it's just not there for you on the perimeter, and you can't try to shoot yourself out of a bad shooting night from outside.
The Grizzlies trail by 4. Outside, Martin feeds to Smart, pulls from the top of the key. The Warriors pull it in. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with San Antonio.
Yeah, they just caught a team, Kevin, that was in a zone, and they didn't have the manpower defensively to disrupt it.
Hey, zone or no zone, I expected a little more fight out of them than what they showed. I mean, they never strung together any stops like they needed to.
And here we go. Fast break. Curry's got it. And the jam by Kevin Durant.
Forget about finesse and agility. This big fella's all about power and force.
Memphis has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Thompson against Martin. Tipped away. Curry with it. He's coming off a 34-point game against San Antonio. Green, the screen. Curry passes to Green. And, yep, finally dropped after rolling around the rim. Green's got his first points of the game.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But, boy, that was a nice job.
And remember, you go back to when Steph Curry was in college, more of a shooting guard at Davidson, but he's worked relentlessly to not only improve his ball handling, but his vision. And now, all of a sudden, he's one of the most elusive ball handlers.
Martin, the pass to Smart. Gasol dishes to right. Leonard with the steal. And now we've got the intentional foul.
Yeah, you can't let him hold the ball and just milk those 5 seconds away.
No, you got to foul. I mean, it's going to come down to free throws here. Foul right away.
Taking a look at the Grizzlies. And off is the 4 with Gasol in the middle. Smart is out there with Martin. And it's Gay in at the 3 slot. So it's the Clippers taking the win in a close one. It was a fantastic ball game, and they did a great job making sure it didn't get away from them late.
Yeah, and they got pushed.
Well, congratulations on this win, James. And did you feel like
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Blake Griffin, he had an outstanding fourth quarter where he really shined, pouring it on heavy down the stretch.
His accuracy.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed.